As October approaches here in New England, the weather gets colder, but the UMass Boston Beacons stay red hot. They'll look to win their 8th consecutive game and open up the Little East Conference schedule 2-0 as they get set to take on their rivals from the Nutmeg State, the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors. That's up next, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Hello and welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I am John. Excited to be here with you today on the BBN to see the 10-1 UMass Boston Beacons try to win their 8th consecutive affair here in 2016. They take on the 9-4 Eastern Connecticut State Warriors, a game LEC foe who hopes to bring all of their talents here into Clark Athletic Center Gym against the Beacons. The Beacons, as I mentioned earlier in the introduction, are now 1-0 in the conference after a 3-0 victory over the team predicted to finish second in this conference in the preseason standings, the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors rivals from the West. For ECSU, they're looking to improve to 10-4 on the campaign, 2-0 in the conference after a victory over the Plymouth State Panthers last time out. Alyssa Mihalik had a huge day in that performance with double-digit assists and kills in the victory for Eastern Connecticut State. Meanwhile, for the Beacons, last time out on Thursday against MIT, UMass Boston saw one of their biggest leaders over the last 4 years, Elizabeth Glavin, finally notch her greatest milestone as she became the first athlete in program history to record 2,000 career digs. The native of Minnesota, a state known for its Twin Cities, hopes to be a part of the Twin Peaks today as Rachel Maslach, a not often used big, will get a chance to start today and show her talents to Terry Condon and their rivals from Eastern Connecticut State. Speaking of Thursday, another huge performance for our player to watch, Christina Elliott. And as we take a look at Christina's numbers here on the pregame show on the Beacons Broadcasting Network, you see right there Christina spectacular as a freshman, 89 sets to go along with 113 assists and 20 aces. She was second in assists for her career among active players on the Beacons with 113, tied for first in aces with 20. And as I mentioned, last Saturday against WestCon, a career-high 21 assists. She's always spectacular in the service area, and she's proving she can do it from anywhere on the court here for Terry Condon's club. As we move forward here on the pregame show, before we kick to a break, let's take a look at the all-time series matchup between these Warriors and the Beacons. Of course, these are two rivals who know each other well. Eastern Connecticut State leading 13-8 overall. The Beacons, when they last played ECSU last year on September 19th, lost 3-0. UMB's only regular season LEC loss since 2012 against the Warriors. And of course, their last win came 2 years ago, a 3-1 win in 2014. In fact, before we kick it back upstairs to the broadcasting booth, let's check out the highlights of that 2014 matchup that saw the Beacons triumph over their rivals from Eastern Connecticut by a final score of 3-1.
Getting set for a huge Little East fixture tonight. The Beacons lead the conference at 4-0. Eastern Connecticut State right behind at 3-1.
Settle down quickly.
They get 1 point back there, and here's a flat-footed service from Adams. Munchbach puts it away for the Beacons. Is stuffed. From the back, Murphy. Here it comes for Adams. Blocked down. Souza and Baker combine. Allie Henry, the senior setter, to serve. Baker plays it off, and Morrison wins set one with that emphatic kill. Beautiful swing from Morrison. The Beacons take the first set, 25-19. Swing is stuffed. That was Hannah Bryant. Tap to the center. Kohler can't put it away. Boyer got it over. Dump back the other way, and oh, that was pretty. Another chance for the Beacons. Baker on two. In the center, a stuff. Mahalik. Morrison once more, and she has the kill.
Proposition, but with Baker, you know that there's a great chance you can come away with it, and you also know that's the possibility on the other side.
And EastCon wins set 2. Standard Times Player of the Year as a high school senior. Beautiful flat-footed finish by Bryant. Over as it's a set apiece. Now the Beacons are just having to fight and claw to get a match win. Allie Henry's service. Set to the center, and a quick kill for Souza. The Warriors still need to fight off 5 more Beacon match or set points. Set point number 3 for the Beacons. Morrison in the center, flips it down on the back line, and the Beacons win set 3. Baker goes over on 2, and this time it works. Today, the service game has been great to go on top of the defense, playing from the back line and her usual net play. How about back-to-back aces to put the Beacons up by 5 as they start to stretch the lead?
Well, and it's no surprise that Brianna Kemp's the player back on the service line. She's been very effective in limited moments tonight, and it's fitting that she'll have a chance to win it.
And she wins it with an ace. Well, the Beacons saw the second set go to EastCon, but pulled the way down the stretch 25-19 and 25-13 to win running away.
And welcome back into the broadcasting booth. I am John Scoudres. We thank you for joining us here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Fall is here in New England, but the UMass Boston Beacons are rising as the Little East Conference slate continues today as they look to advance to 2-0 with a second consecutive matchup against a team from Connecticut. Let's take a look at the statistical outlook on the campaign. UMass Boston, of course, winners of 7 in a row and 10 of 11 to begin the year. As expected, their offensive numbers are precipitously eye-opening, as you see 12.8 kills per set. That's dwarfing Eastern Connecticut State margin, which is still pretty solid at double digits. Meanwhile, the Beacons crushing their rivals from ECSU in almost every statistical category with the exception of blocks per set. The Beacons, hoping to get more of an interior presence and a presence up in front of the net, are going to be starting Rachel Maslak today. And for Rachel, it's an opportunity to show her talents as the Berlin Center, Ohio native takes her 5'9" frame onto the court to begin this matchup. We'll see how much that impacts Terry Condon's club and their rivals from the Nutmeg State. Let's take a look at the individual team leaders here on the pregame show for UMass Boston. No surprise, Colleen Cohen. What a performance here in her second year on Beaconville. She has really risen from what was a bit player last year to be one of the key offensive contributors for UMass Boston. She's had to do that with the loss of many impact performers from 2015's club that won the Little East Conference. And somehow, some way, she has taken the bull by the horns and has UMass Boston right back in position to win the LEC in 2016. We talked about Elizabeth Glavin earlier on in the pregame show. 2,000 career digs, the first player in UMass Boston institutional history to reach that plateau. She has over 200 in that category on the season. Expect to see a lot of digging here from the young libero from the state of Minnesota. As we continue along, we get a peek over at ECSU's head coach, Megan Silver-Dresch. In her third year at ECSU, Megan has, well, she's taken a program that was maybe teeter-tottering and moved them into contention. At 29-34 overall, the former UConn Husky, a graduate in 2007, has her club on the rise. Speaking of successful coaches, the next one is one of the most successful in intercollegiate volleyball history. Terry Condon, in her 12th season, she is an AVCA Hall of Fame inductee. She is 239 and 122 here on Beaconville, and her overall record of 431 and 235 speaks for itself. Her assistant coach today, and as always, the man behind the mic after Beacon's wins, Mike Houlihan, in his third year, one of the members of the AVCA 30 under 30. He has been a spectacular assistant coach, really almost a co-coach with Coach Condon as he brings his tutelage to UMass Boston. 184 and 71 on Beaconville is Coach Houlihan. Let's take a look at the ECSU starters here on the pregame show. Eastern Connecticut State bringing together a lineup that's coming off of a victory, as you see Adriana Mihalik, the outside hitter, along with Ashley Adams, the libero Michelle Valier, as she will be lined up next to Nina Zametti. Leah Sobneski and Megan McComber wrap up the starting lineup for the Warriors of Eastern Connecticut State. And now, as we wrap up the pregame show, let's allow the starters for your UMass Boston Beacons to introduce themselves.
I'm Rachel Maslach. I'm a sophomore setter, and I'm from Berlin Center, Ohio.
Hi, I'm Julia Murphy. I'm a senior middle hitter from Canton, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm Melanie Fida. I'm a freshman right side hitter from Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Eileen Shee. I'm a sophomore outside hitter from San Francisco, California.
I'm Elizabeth Glavin, senior libero from Edina, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Sarah Doyle, a freshman middle blocker from Glendale, California.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have the opening service of this, the second game in the 2016 LEC slate, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
They are introducing the starting lineups for these two in-conference rivals. Let's take a look at the keys to the game here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. The pregame show wraps up, as always, by taking a look at what's critical to success for UMass Boston. As always, maintaining intensity and getting ahead early on is going to be key. The Beacons have swept most of their opponents this season. In fact, 5 of their first 7 victories came via 3-0 sweeps in those sets. And key in on Mihalik. She is clearly the best player on this Eastern Connecticut State team. Adriana on the campaign, 163 kills, is 70 kills more than her closest competition on their roster. So the Warriors are led by, well, their own Joan of Arc in Adriana Mihalik, and she's going to have to be absolutely outstanding in rising above the tide of UMass Boston this afternoon. They're wrapping up the pregame here, and they're going to go to the national anthem. So we're going to kick to one more commercial break here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. When we come back, we will have the opening service of this, the second game of the 2016 Little East Conference slate, as the UMass Boston Beacons take on the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is into net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Everybody in attendance here in Beaconville rising to their feet to honor America as we are set for what should be an outstanding Little East Conference matchup, UMass Boston against Eastern Connecticut State. I mentioned already Rachel Maslach getting the start for Terry Condon's club. It's a rare start for Rachel, although she certainly has had her moments in the spotlight. We'll see if she can get it done, along with Murphy, Doyle, Shee, and the familiar customers up front, Cohen, and the fantastically talented Elizabeth Glavin. Beacons coming in at 10-1 overall, 1-0 in the Little East Conference. UMass Boston has picked up right where they left off a year ago, winning the Little East Conference yet again in 2015. And as we are set for some volleyball, we already see a quick substitution here before the match even begins for Eastern Connecticut. Actually, it looked like Valier, the libero, was going to step off. She was coming back on. And now we are all set for some volleyball. The Beacons trying to improve to 11-1. Put a stranglehold on this LEC conference early on as they already are atop the LEC. Meanwhile, Eastern Connecticut State 0-1 in the conference after their loss to Plymouth State. 9-4 overall. ECSU won their first 4 matches of this season, all by 3-0 finals. In fact, 7 of their 9 victories have come via the sweep. And Rachel Maslach will try to get what would be UMass Boston's 8th consecutive victory if they triumph today underway as she delivers the opening service, dug out there by Valier, as coming on over for an overhand shrug by Mahalik as it's taken on the dig. Yet another 2,000 plus now for Elizabeth Glavin as UMass Boston gets credit for the first score of the game off the underhanded fist bump there by Glavin, and right now she can do no wrong for her UMass Boston Beacons. Second service for Maslach, dug out there by Valier. Good spike attempt and delivering on the kill is Leah Somneski. What a beautiful play by number 8 in blue as the native of Deep River, Connecticut, gets Eastern Connecticut on the board. It's 1-1. First service here for Karen Sabisky as she delivers an ace. As that was beautiful stuff here for EastCon as they get the early advantage 2-1. Last week in the conference opener against WestCon, the Beacons got out to a huge lead in set number 1. As this spike attempt there was a good one by Cohen, is unable to dig that out enough to get it to her teammate was Zamiti. As the senior libero from East Hampton, Connecticut, sees this one tied up again. It's 2-2. Eileen Shee with the service. Nice dig on a dive attempt there. And a better play made by the aforementioned Sabisky. As there's a beautiful slamming spike on a fantastic effort by Melanie Fida, one of the freshman dynamic duo, I should say, between Fida and Sarah Doyle. Both of those players on the court, both of those players have been outstanding contributors for Terry Condon and Mike Houlihan's club. Setting that one up there for a spike attempt by Mahalik, but that was denied by who else? Elizabeth Glavin. There's another attempt, and that one just off the edge of the knuckle, I believe, from the hitter. That was number 16, Megan McComber, a junior from South Windsor. And that results in a UMass Boston point out of bounds, 4-2 Beacons. Eileen Shee, a native of San Francisco, California, delivered that service. She has been outstanding, just a sophomore here for the Beacons. As speaking of outstanding, Colleen Cohen, a howitzer cannon to the far side of the court. It's 5-2 UMass Boston. Colleen, a native of Centerville, Massachusetts, as that one is off the edge of the hand of Adriana Mahalik, and number 2 in blue has been their best performer this season, but off to a bit of an inauspicious beginning. Her team trails 6-2 as that one was misjudged. Good dig there by Zamiti, getting it over and delivering. The third point of the set was number 7, Ashley Adams, the senior from Mystic. And Ashley will get a chance to catch her breath after that. She delivers for her team, the visiting Eastern Connecticut State Warriors. It's kill number 66 on the year for Ashley Adams, as this one is sent far side. Eileen Shee by way of Maslak as this slam is out of bounds. Doyle had an opportunity to deliver for the Beacons, but instead service, at least at first they said it was going to be credited to ECSU, and then they gave the ball over to the Beacons, so good point for the Beacons. They're going to say deflected off of ECSU. I didn't see it, but that's why they're the refs, and I'm the broadcaster. Here's the service by Glavin, dug out there by who else? Mahalik, and then she tries to do it herself. A nice cross-court spike attempt, dug out by Maslak. Nice deceptive move by Cohen, but able to sniff that one out was Mahalik, and even the best of the best get fooled sometimes. Glavin can't dig that one out on a beautiful blast by who else? Adriana Mahalik, and it's now, I want to say it's going to be 7-4. They put the scoreboard up here. It said 8-3, but that's a mistake. It's 7-4 as this one is in on the line on a beautiful service ace by who else? Adriana McCulloch, and it's now 7-5. And now they're going to edit the scoreboard and correct it as there is a stoppage in play. Folks, as always, you want to check out more UMass Boston Beacons athletics, check us out online at beaconsathletics.com as well as at our social media venues, as this is an opportunity for Murphy, and a nice play made to dig that one out by Valier. Meanwhile, Glavin gets fooled on a beautiful play by Carly Bauskas as she drops it between the trees, a teardrop, and it's now 7-6. As I was saying, you can check out the Beacons on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more, as well as on YouTube at Beacons Athletics. As we will get our first substitution here of the game, as Colleen Cohen will get a chance to take a seat. The Beacons now leading 8-6. Christina Elliott will step on in. She was our player to watch. Also joining her, the junior from Fair Oaks Ranch, Texas, Alex Gibbs. Elliott, fantastic in the service area as she gets that one up and over the net. Oh, and a great block by Murphy. Who else but Julia Murphy? As she rises up above the trees and lays that one down. It's now 9-6. A beautiful block for Murphy, and Julia, in fact, has been chasing history herself, as that service attempt is a fault here and an error on Christina Elliott, but she'll learn from that mistake, I'm sure. It's now 9-7. Murphy, as I mentioned, chasing milestones when it comes to kills and blocks. She has been outstanding, as this one is delivered by Gibbs over the netting, dug out there by Mahalik, and then, Mahalik might have had a chance to deny that spike attempt by Fida, but she was interrupted by her teammate, and her partner in crime is getting in her way was Fabiana Della Monica, the senior setter. Misjudged that one, and it's now 9-7, as there's a spike attempt by who else? You say her name, and she makes a mistake. She comes right back and delivers a kill. Fabiana Della Monica from Newark, Delaware, and now she'll get a chance to take a seat after she gets her team on the board. It's 10-8. Leah Sumneski will be delivering from the service area, as the 5'7" sophomore will go with the overhand serve, delivered towards Glavin, dug out there by the Beacons libero. Elliott will eventually send it over towards Eileen Shee. She gets it over the netting, and a good spike there by Mahalik, partially deflected by Shee. It's Glavin finding Julia Murphy, who delivers for UMass Boston. And Julia is outstanding up front. She's outstanding from the service area. We'll get a chance to see that right now. If you're just tuning in, this is UMass Boston Beacons Volleyball here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I'm John Skudris. Great dig there by the libero. That was Michelle Valier, but she was unable to keep it in bounds. And now a timeout on the court, Eastern Connecticut State. So UMass Boston continuing their strong start as they are out in front 12-8. We'll be right back with the rest of the first set right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III in athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
12-8 UMass Boston. I am John Scudris. As you see on the bottom left hand of your screen, check out at UMass Boston's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Check out all your UMass Boston Beacons highlights on YouTube as well as at beaconsathletics.com. You can also watch archived footage of every single 2016 UMass Boston women's volleyball match on beaconsathletics.com. That one kept alive there on a good play by Kianko, who's freshly entered into the game, but it looks like it's going to be a point to UMass Boston as a fault there for the visitors from Eastern Connecticut State. Gibbs is out there with She and Doyle up front, Elliott and Kianko in the middle, and committing the error there on the service was number 6, Julia Murphy. She will take a seat as Glavin will step back in. 13-9 now, and getting a chance for her first serve is going to be Nina Zamiti. And the East Hampton native overhand service dug out there by Kianko. Christina Elliott sets it up for one of the best killers in the business. That's Eileen Shee, but she was unable to get that one past the trees. Meanwhile, Valier sets up a chance for a soft looping shot, and deflected by UMass Boston was the net. That was Doyle making contact, and that's going to result in a point there. The initial shot coming from the right arm of Ashley Adams. Zamiti again gets this one over, dug out there by Eileen Shee. Kianko has to get it over the net. She does. Valier is there. The libero sees a beautiful spike attempt there by who else? Mahalik. But it's dug out by Glavin, and then a ferocious slam by Shee is dug out by Valier. That's why she's the libero. This is going to be the last chance for the Beacons to get it over, and Elizabeth Glavin did, but Mahalik is just going to have too much time and too much room as she delivers the spike. It's 13-11. So it was 13-8 when we went to a break. It's now 13-11. As this service by Nina Zamiti is dug out by Glavin, and the hits keep coming. The momentum has swung precipitously the other way, and Terry Condon doesn't like what she sees. She's going to call a timeout. At our last stoppage, it was 13-8 Beacons, 4 unanswered. Out of the timeout forces Terry Condon to use one of her own. We'll be back. It's 13-12, UMass Boston.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
So Nina Zamiti will get another opportunity. She's really been the key, I guess you could say, cog in the momentum swing. Out of the timeout, they got a point, did Eastern Connecticut, and then 3 straight with the service of Zamiti. Beautiful play by Shee, as she took a little bit off of that one. Glavin with a nice dig. Beacon's going to have to perform admirably here to get this momentum back. Eventually it's set up for a spike attempt and whiffing on it. Oh, just completely whiffing on the attempt was Karen Sabisky, as the junior from Rockfall will have an opportunity to make up for it as she'll stay out on the court, but that was a tough one for Eastern Connecticut State, as she just completely misjudged the level of that ball. Kianko back there along with Maslak, who will be delivering the service. Glavin, Cohen, Doyle, and Shee. There's a spike attempt. Deflected off of Doyle, setting it up for Shee, and a beautiful set by Rachel Maslak. That's probably why Coach Condon went to Rachel, an unselfish player who can certainly set up her opponents, and this setter did her job on that one. As Eileen Shee delivered the kill, it's 15-12. Here is Valier setting things up, an opportunity to deliver for who else? Ashley Adams. She's got her second kill of the set, and this thing is narrowed now to 15-13. You're already seeing ECSU bringing a little bit more grit than their rivals from the West did a week ago, as Maslak sets things up for Shee. Didn't get enough under that one, did Rachel. And now Glavin will just have to send it over, and a good play to make up for a previous mistake by Sabisky. However, this one's sent out of bounds, and UMass Boston will get the point, as making contact with that one was Nina Zamiti. Substitution, Eileen Shee will be serving for the Beacons. Leaving the court for the visitors was Ashley Adams. Meanwhile, unable to save that one was Mahalik off the initial play by Sopneski. And the Beacons have regained that 4-point lead at 17-13. Beacons have led by as many as 5, 13-8, as a beautiful ace there by Eileen Shee as she delivers right between the trees in the middle of the court, and we will have our second timeout of this first set by the visitors from Eastern Connecticut State. Well, after our last timeout, we said the Beacons needed to regain momentum. They have overextended themselves to their largest lead of the day. It's 18-13 UMass Boston right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
Cheer.
18-13, UMass Boston out in front of the Warriors of Eastern Connecticut State. I am John Skudris. UMass Boston continuing their Little East Conference slate today. They'll be back to the conference play as they will be taking on Plymouth State on Tuesday, that one at Plymouth. And then a couple of non-conference affairs against Wellesley and a couple of home matches against the Babson College Beavers and Middlebury College. That's a doubleheader, actually, on October the 1st. So out of the timeout, UMass Boston sends Eileen Shee with Rachel Maslak and Elizabeth Glavin outside. Inside, it's going to be Melanie Fida, Colleen Cohen, and Sarah Doyle. So your starting lineup back in the game is that one right off the knuckles of Nina Zamiti, and a beautiful ace by who else? Eileen Shee. It's her second consecutive. The native of the Golden Coast as the California product delivers the service. Meanwhile, that one was out. How they say that stayed in. I couldn't believe it. It looked good for UMass Boston, but they do give credit where credit is due as Zamiti delivers. And we'll have a substitution with the score 19-14. Eileen Shee will take a seat for UMass Boston. Meanwhile, taking a breather is going to be Ashley Adams and Leah Sopneski for the Warriors. And a beautiful spike attempt by Cohen, but a better block up front by Kay Mullen. The senior at 6'1" is the tallest Warrior out there, and the Fairhaven, Massachusetts native was spectacular on that one. 19-15 Beacons. Service for the Warriors, dug out by Glavin. There's Fida trying to lift that one up. Kept alive by Della Monica, and then that spike attempt was a beaut, as unable to keep it alive. Eventually it was Fida after a great effort by Maslak. But unfortunately for UMass Boston, that's back-to-back points here for the Warriors. Recently entering in, Emily Steinberg, the Moore Park, California native for UMass Boston. Emily is the one who digs out that service from Della Monica. From the far side, there's another spike attempt by Cohen, deflected out of bounds. So UMass Boston with a break there, as they will get back onto the scoreboard and lead it 20-16. Of course, in intercollegiate volleyball, we played at 25%. First to 3 sets wins. Unless, of course, we end up going to the 5th set, in which case they will only play to 15, as the Beacons are now up 21-16 on a nice effort there by Fida and company. Julia Murphy is back in this match as she replaced Doyle. Della Monica setting up a spike attempt out of bounds, as they will give credit to the UMass Boston Beacons. Good chance there for Kay Mullen, but she just barely missed off the near side stripe. And it's now 22-16, UMass Boston. And an error there by Elizabeth Glavin. While serving is not her expertise, she certainly has talent at it. She had a couple of aces in their matchup against WestCon last week. We'll see if she can pick things up here as this match moves along. And just as the Beacons commit an error on the serve, you see The fault there by the best player on the Warriors, Adriana Mahalik, as even the best sometimes commit a foul. It's 23-17, and here comes Christina Elliott. Christina, our player to watch in the pregame show. She did commit a service error earlier in this set, but she is one of the best the Beacons have from the service area. Pepper Baker, really universally known as the Beacons' best when it comes to serving, as this one is Alex Gibbs with a beautiful open palmed tap over the net right to where it needed to go, into the corner of the court. And UMass Boston is one away from wrapping up set number 1. They lead 24-17. Stay tuned after set number 1. We'll take a look around the LEC, and there it is. Christina Elliott delivers. I sang her praises from the service area, and she makes the Warriors sing the blues to end set number 1 here from UMass Boston. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have highlights of the first set as well as a look around the LEC. It's 1-0 UMass Boston right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Welcome back into the broadcast booth. I'm John Skudras. Beacons up 1-0 here on their rivals from Eastern Connecticut State, as they will look to wrap up their 11th victory of the season. And if they do it in straight sets, it would be their 8th of the campaign. Let's take a look at how UMass Boston got out to that 1-0 lead with the first set highlights here on the Intermission Report on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Got out to a huge lead in set number 1. As this spike attempt there was a good, nice cross-court spike attempt dug out by Maslak. Nice deceptive move by Cohen, but able to sniff that one out was Mahalik. Elliott, fantastic in the service area as she gets that one up and over the net. Oh, and a great block by Murphy. Delivered by Gibbs over the netting, dug out there by Mahalik, and then, by Mahalik, partially deflected by She. It's Glavin. UMass Boston Beacons volleyball here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I'm John Skudras. Great dig over, and Elizabeth Glavin did, but Mahalik is just going to have too much time and too much room as she delivers the spike. It's 13-11. So it was 13-8 when we went to a break. It's now 13-11. As this service by Nina Zamini is dug out by Glavin, and the hits breather is going to be Ashley Adams and Leah Sopneski for the Warriors. And a beautiful spike attempt by Cohen, but a better block up front. Unless, of course, we end up going to the 5th set, in which case they will only play to 15, as the Beacons are now up 21-16 on a nice set. Stay tuned after set number 1. Look around the LEC, and there it is. As we get you set here for the second set, a look around the Little East Conference standings today. Southern Maine beating UMass Dartmouth 3-0 earlier this afternoon from Southern Maine. Plymouth State takes on Western Connecticut State. The Keene State Owls will visit Rick, as Rhode Island College will look to get back to their winning ways. And later on today, UMass Dartmouth is at Brandeis. Plymouth State heads to Worcester to take on Worcester State. And then it will be UMass Dartmouth against Regis. Right now, UMass Boston looking to take a 2-0 lead. You see the LEC scoreboard right there. The only one that's final, I believe, is that Southern Maine Dartmouth score. As this one is a beautiful start for Mahalik and the Warriors as they come out fighting here in set number 2. Mahalik rises above the net to slam it down in the face of Eileen Shee. And it's 1-0 Warriors here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. That one dug out there by Glavin on Zamiti's initial service. And, they're going to say that rising over the net there was Cohen. And now it's 2-0 as the Warriors out to a auspicious start in set 2. In case you're just joining us, Beacons winning set 1, 25-17. They had a 13-8 lead that devolved to a 13-12 lead as that one's out of bounds off the attempt by Fida. And it's now 3-0 Eastern Connecticut State. That 13-12 lead resulted in Terry Condon calling a timeout, and like any veteran coach, she was able to settle down her club. Beacons reeled off 5 unanswered and ended up winning that set by 8, 25-17, and a beautiful spike by Colleen Cohen as she uses every ounce of strength that she has to pound that one in front of Zamiti and put the Beacons on the board. It's 3-1. In that first set, we'll get the stats in a moment. Good play made there by Cohen, keeping that alive. Set up here for Fida by way of Elliott. Kept alive there by Valier. Meanwhile, she will set this up for a chance for Fida to deliver between both Zamiti and Valier, as it was the right place at the right time for the freshman Mel Fida. And UMass Boston has cut this deficit down to 1. It's 3-2. Eileen Shee getting set to serve. In set 1, Eileen had 3 aces to lead UMass Boston, as sending this one way out of bounds there when the attempt was Mahalik. And Adriana off to a tough start. A couple of errors here in set number 2. And now things are evened up 3-3. Valier digs out the service there by Shee, and a beautiful block by UMass Boston as the dynamic freshman duo of Doyle and Fida up front. They are the tallest players in the lineup for UMass Boston, and they are showing why Coach Condon continues to call their number up front. Beacons leading 4-3, and just like last set, it's Eileen Shee contributing, and they're going to call the Beacons here for... No, they're going to actually say the Beacons do get the point. It looked like they were going to call Cohen for a net infraction, but a good call here by the refereeing crew, and the Beacons extend their lead to 5-3. And unable to get that one. Another ace, the 4th of the day for Eileen Shee. As unable to get down is Karen Sabisky. And from a 3-0 deficit, 6 unanswered. And Eileen Shee, a key reason why. Zamiti digs that out. Ooh, off the forearm, I believe, of Della Monica. And that's going to result indirectly to another point for the Beacons and directly to a timeout for the Warriors. Coach Silverdresch wants to talk to her club. The 4th-year coach will have an opportunity to do so as we go to a break right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
7-3 Beacons as we come out of the break. Beacons leading 1-0 in sets. Eileen Shee and the Beacons have 7 consecutive scores here as she tries to drop that one in front of Valier. The libero digs it out. Beautiful block up front. Make it 8. Colleen Cohen defensively delivers, and it's 8-3 Beacons on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Really, in this set alone, both Shee and Cohen have been the single biggest reason why the Beacons have scored 8 unanswered. That's got to be a point for the Beacons, as it was easily out of bounds. Beacons do get credit for that. It's now 9-3. This started out 3-0 to begin this set. And since then, it's been a Beacons blitzkrieg of epic proportions. They'll try to make it double digits, 10 in a row. And we'll try to squash the life out of the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors here in set number 2. Valier digs it out, and a chance for a spike dug out by Shee. It's going to have to be Cohen who delivers an overhanded spike. Colleen Cohen. I tell you what, when she transferred to UMass Boston last year, she didn't get a lot of playing time, and we weren't sure what to expect, but she has made everybody proud of what she's become. Now here for the Beacons, as this service by Shee trying to make it 11 in a row. Dug out by Valier, almost careens with the scoreboard atop Clark Athletics Center as it eats Valier alive, and a beautiful play made by Sarah Doyle. And it's now 12-3 and deja vu all over again. For the second time in, 120 seconds, the Beacons see their opponents call a timeout. It started out 3-0 here in set 2. It's now 11-3 UMass Boston, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
UMass Boston is my first choice because of the incredible theater department.
Because it has an excellent honors college.
Because here I get to interact with professors one-on-one.
Because I'm not going to be crazy in debt when I graduate.
Because at UMass Boston, I've met professors who have changed my life.
My first choice.
My first choice.
My first choice.
My first choice.
Make the University of Massachusetts Boston your first choice. Visit umb.edu/first choice.
So Eileen Shee is ready to go. Eileen, of course, started this mayhem. The Beacons were down 3-0. She started in the service area, and since then 11 consecutive. Here's an opportunity for Cohen to keep the run going. Good dig there on a play made by Leah Sopneski to at least get a deflection, but that just delayed the inevitable as UMass Boston gets their 12th unanswered. Eileen Shee is all smiles. She hasn't moved from that service area in quite some time. I'm not sure what the Beacons' record is for consecutive scoring streak, but it's going to end there as the Beacons see Shee finally commit an error in the service area. It's now 12-4. So Steinberg enters in for Shee, who gets a much-deserved moment of rest, as the Beacons have tripled up their opponents 12-4, but just like that, an ace delivered there by Karin Sabiski as Carlin will head back towards the service area. 12-5 now, dug out by Fida. Christina Elliott looking for Cohen. Another play by Sobieski. And a fake to the far side came near side. A beautiful play by Elliott to keep that one off the ground, as her dig attempt results in a kill for Elliott. Perseverance pays off for number 8 in black as UMass Boston extends their lead to 13-5 here in set number 2. Doyle will get a chance to take a rest as Glavin serves this one. Zamiti keeps it alive, and that attempt to go cross court is out of bounds off the initial attempt by Adams, and the Beacons now lead by 9. Beacons win this one. Stay tuned after the game. We'll talk to Coach Mike Houlihan about his team's success. Good dig attempt there by Sopneski. Great play by Zamiti, and Sopneski pops right back up with a no-look turnaround play to get it over the net. Beautiful effort by Leah Sopneski, and it's going to result in a better dig there by Valier. The attempt there and misjudging her height and her angle was Megan McComber, as the 6-foot junior out of South Windsor can't get that over the net. It's 15-5. Glavin, Steinberg, Elliott, Fida, Cohen, and right there, that was Julia Murphy delivering the kill for UMass Boston. It's now 16-5, and a substitution coming on for the first time. We'll get a chance to mention senior outside hitter Amanda Tyler from Longmeadow, Massachusetts, as she will replace fellow senior Nina Zamiti. And right as she comes in, she gets the ball to her. Tyler keeps it alive. Good dig. And, Fida, dangerous play towards the UMass volleyball sign at the press box down there. And luckily for UMass Boston, nobody hurt. However, it does result in a point here for the visiting Warriors. It's 16-6 as Fabiana Della Monica will deliver from the service area. The Delaware native, the first state, as she commits the first error of her day. It's now 17-6, and for the first time, we'll get a chance to mention one of the best when it comes to service, as Pepper Baker will step on in. She'll look to spice things up a bit, Will Pepper, as joining her on the court, I believe, was Maslak. Can't see right now. As here is Pepper Baker delivering, and good job keeping that one in as Tyler digs it out. Della Monica, far side, and that one out of bounds off the spike attempt by Mullen. And the senior from Fairhaven sees this lead explode to 12. Beacons have scored 18 of 21 here in the second set after falling behind 3-0. And Pepper Baker will deliver again. Dug out there by Valier. near side, and Mahalik just overextended herself on that one. A little bit too much mustard on that hot dog, and now it's 19-6, UMass Boston. Baker, Steinberg, Glavin, Maslak, and Fida, as well as Kianko, as here's from the far side, trying to rise that up, and Maslak unable to keep it in. Murphy out there, along with Maslak up front, and it's going to be 19-7, and now, if nothing else, for the Warriors, they do get one of their best players, Adriana Mahalik, to the service area. Maybe she can start a rally. Pepper Baker sets up Rachel Maslak, blocked out in front. Good play by Murphy, getting it over the net. Delamonica finds Valier. Near side opportunity for Mullen, dug out by Glavin. Pepper Baker, what a play by Murphy! In midair, adjusting herself and deflecting the ball towards the hardwood court, and UMass Boston leads it 20-7. Every game, Julia Murphy, or every match I should say, Julia Murphy does something else to amaze you. And there's another great play by Julia with the block up front. She'll have another chance perhaps. Instead it's she delivering. And the California native hot as the Pacific Coast as she gets the Beacons to a 21-7 lead here in set number 2. And now Kianko will come in as an opportunity for Michaela to serve for the first time today, I believe. Yep. First time for number 15 in black. Dug out there on the far side. And Mullen will go overhand. She's so tall she didn't even have to jump on those type of plays as Delamonica got down to her knees. But UMass Boston, with a great effort, is going to at least force service here for Valier. The libero not known for her ability from the service area. So it'll be interesting to see what she can deliver here. 21-8. Michaela Kianko is the first to make contact. Meanwhile, she is the overhand right-handed bump to get it over. Glavin to Baker to she. Kept alive by Mahalik. Delamonica, far side for Bauskis. Dug out by Baker as Maslak will set she up for a spike deflected, and Valier keeps it alive. Delamonica near side. Chance there by Bauskis is dug out by Michaela Kianko. Murphy kept alive by Bauskis. Far side and a spike attempt deflected and kept alive here. Baker to Murphy. Great dig there by Delamonica. And eventually UMass Boston will get it as too many touches on the far side. Beacons lead at 22-8. What a volley for both of the clubs. The longest of the afternoon for both the Warriors and the Beacons. Glavin will take a seat. Replaced out there by Fida as Murphy is serving. And far side, a whistle, and UMass Boston again taking advantage of their opponent's errors as they lead this one 23-8. Here's Murphy. Service dug out there on the far side by Bauskis. Delamonica looking for Mahalik. She had to get it over. Good job by Mahalik. And a good play by Murphy, but Michaela Kianko can't keep it alive. And the kill there by Delamonica as she will take a seat, as will Kay Mullen. Replaced out there by Sopneski and Ashley Adams. 23-9. Beacons looking to take a 2-0 lead as Baker sets up Eileen Shee. As unfortunately for the Beacons, that was blocked up front on a good play made by number 15, Karen Sabisky. But boy, oh boy, that Eileen Shee, she can certainly jump. Sopneski with the service, 23-10 Beacons. Here's Eileen again, and come on Eileen as she delivers. It's 24-10 UMass Boston. The kill for UMass Boston sophomore phenom as Pepper Baker takes a seat, as does Rachel Maslak. Christina Elliott out there for the Beacons. And Elliott will try to win this set, just like she did last set, coming in with 24, and she delivers again, making Terry Condon and Mike Houlihan out to be strategic geniuses as they bring out one of their best in the service area to squash East Con like a bug and their hopes in the second half of this set. Well, we are going to kick to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have highlights of set number 2 as well as a look around Beaconville and all the other action here in UMass Boston Athletics. It's UMass Boston 2, Eastern Connecticut State 0, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
UMass Boston leading 2-0 over their rivals from Eastern Connecticut State. And in set number 2, it really wasn't even close. The Beacons fell behind 3-0 to begin the set before rising for 13 unanswered and taking it in blowout fashion. Without further ado, let's take a look at the highlights of set number 2 right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Spike dug out by She. It's going to have to be Cohen who delivers. Rowe dug out by Valier. Almost careens with the scoreboard atop Clark Athletics Center as it eats Valier alive. Sobieski. And a fake to the far side came near side. A beautiful play by Elliott to keep that one off the ground as Herdzig attempt results in a kill. Glavin, Steinberg, Elliott, Fida, Cohen, and right there, Della Monica finds Valier. Near side opportunity for Mullen, dug out by Glavin. Pepper Baker, oh, what a play by Murphy! Side by Bauskas, Della Monica looking for Mahalik. She had to get it over. Good job by Mahalik. And a good play by Murphy. But win this set, just like she did last set, coming in with 24. And she's winning set 1, 25-17. They take their talents towards set number 3 after winning set 2, 25-10. Let's take a look around Beaconville here on the second set intermission report on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. UMass Boston's successes this campaign have been pronounced not only in volleyball but in soccer as well. The men's soccer team not playing until tonight when they will host Rhode Island College. You can check that out right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Women's soccer right now in the 25th minute against the anchor women of Rhode Island College, no score. And women's tennis taking on the Plymouth State Panthers. That one in progress early on. Also, no result yet from women's tennis. So, it's the last chance for romance now here for Eastern Connecticut State. If they're going to walk away from this one with a victory, they're going to have to win 3 consecutive sets against the UMass Boston team that has only lost 3 sets in one match once this year at 10-1 overall. And they have not lost to anybody in the conference in quite a long time, considering their conference victory last year as well as their success already here in 2016. Set number 1 ended with Christina Elliott getting an ace. Set number 2 ended with Christina Elliott getting an ace. Let's see if set 3 can begin with Christina Elliott delivering, as this time it is dug out by Valier. And unable to get down and dig that one out was Glavin, as credit going there to number 15 in blue, Karen Sobieski. She will get a chance to serve for the first time here for Eastern Connecticut. Sobieski's overhanded service dug out by Glavin. Elliott will, looking for Doyle, and Sarah got a little handcuffed, I think. It was closer than she thought it was, and resulted in a little bit too much oomph on that, if you will. It's 2-0, just like set 2. Beacons fell behind 3-0 in that one, as Doyle, that would have been 3-0, but luckily for Sarah, it's deflected off the right hand of Sopneski. Leo would have been much smarter to just let that go. And instead, it's going to be the first point of the set for UMass Boston. It's 2-1. And why not put Eileen Shee out there? Eileen, of course, got the run going after the Beacons fell behind 3-0 in set 2. She gets another ace there. It's 2-2. Beacons and the Warriors here in set 3. If the Beacons are able to close out Eastern Connecticut State and complete another sweep by winning this set, as there's an error there by Eileen. She just took her eye off the ball on the service. Loss of focus for Ms. Shee. As I was saying, if the Beacons do complete the sweep with a victory in this set, it'll be their 6th in their last 7 games and their 8th in 11 victories this season. It's 3-2 Warriors as Delamonica's service gets sent back their way by way of Doyle. Delamonica keeps it alive, setting up a chance here to the near side for Mullen, dug out by Glavin. This one is going to be Zamiti digging it out for Delamonica, and before the Beacons can get there, Kay Mullen will record her first kill of set 3. It's 4-2. UMass Boston trailing the Warriors here in what could be the final set if the Beacons are able to pull things out, but right now they do trail. Here's the service from Delamonica, and crossing each other up there were Fida and Glavin, and then that connects with the scoreboard above the netting. And it's 5-2 Warriors here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Colleen Cohen trying to rally her troops out there. Beacons trailed by 3 early last set, and Elizabeth Glavin got really handcuffed with that one. I'm not sure what it was there. You don't see it very often against a defensively stalwart player like she is, but Terry Condon's seen enough as the Beacons trail 6-2. The Beacons head coach calls it timeout. It's 6-2 Warriors here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school. But every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Out of the timeout here, I am John Skudras. Thank you for joining us here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. As always, you can check out all of your Beacons live and archived athletics events at beaconsathletics.com. You can also check out highlights, features, and more at YouTube. Just go to @BeaconsAthletics or on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Beacons Athletics. Meanwhile, Beacons Athletics looking more like Beacons sedentary right now as they are stuck in the mud and trailing 7-2. They fell behind 5-2 and have not been able to get anything going even after the Terry Condon timeout. Glavin digs this one out, and an opportunity for Elliott to set up Fida, and Mel Fida delivers with an overhand left-handed spike attempt. Able to full volley air, and it's now 7-3. Murphy re-enters the affair as Glavin will serve. Dug out there by Zamiti. Near side here, and a good block by Murphy. She will set up a chance for Murphy from Elliott. Was that deflected? It was, and UMass Boston gets credit. Julia Murphy, who else? She continues to be a leader both on and off the court for UMass Boston, and the Beacons will need her success if they hope to come back from this deficit here in set 3. Beautiful serve by Glavin, low and fierce, as this one is an opportunity for Mahalik, blocked by Murphy. And standing out of bounds there was Mahalik when she made contact with that one. Credit to the Beacons, it's 7-5. So Glavin again trying to keep the Beacons moving as they trail 7-5. Elliott digs it out. Cohen thought about taking that one. Instead, it's Mel Fida getting it from Glavin, and you can almost see the poise in Glavin's eyes when she sets that up right when Fida delivers the blow. Elizabeth is right back in the service area, ready to go. It's 7-6. Dug out there by Mullen. Delamonica for Mahalik, and Christina Elliott. If she didn't make any contact with that one, it's probably Beacon's point, but instead it tipped off her knuckles, and just like that, service goes back to Mahalik and the Warriors. And here is Adriana as she will serve this one towards she. Eileen finds Elliott. Now Eileen's going to have to get it over just off the forearm as it's kept alive there by Delamonica. And a spike attempt there from number 1 Carly Bauskis is denied by she. And a beautiful effort on the soft tap by Murphy. Julia Murphy, who will get an opportunity here in the third set to continue towing her talents as she welcomes Rachel Maslak and Pepper Baker in for Elliott and Cohen. It's going to be Pepper Baker serving. Through the first 2 sets, Murphy had just 3 kills, which is low for her. She's already got 2 here in set 3. It's 8-7 Warriors. Great play by she. punched up in the air by Baker, and a better play there on defensively by Balskis to keep it alive. Pepper looking for Fida, kept alive by Delamonica on a dig. As eventually Mahalik is able to find Balskis, but a great defensive effort by UMass Boston as Mel Fida gets her hands above the netting to deny and get a block, and UMass Boston has evened things up. It's 8-8. So Pepper Baker back there to serve yet again, and Pepper always has that jump to her step when she delivers service, and a beautiful ace there by the ace of aces when it comes to service for UMass Boston. It's Pepper Baker. As unable to corral that one was Balskis. It's 9-8. Pepper does a pretty good job on the PA announcing as well for lacrosse games in the spring, as unable to get that one over the net there was Pepper Baker. And it's now 9-9. Baker out there with Maslak, Shee, Glavin, Fida, and Murphy. Meanwhile, Valier, Delamonica, Mihalik, Balskis, and on the far side, there's Kay Mullen. That one right up in front, a great block. Great block up front by Kay Mullen, as well as Karen Sabisky, as that duo delivers the block, and it's 10-9, as back at the top is the Warriors of Eastern Connecticut State. Here's Valier, as this one's dug out there by Glavin. Sets up Fida for the left-handed spike, and she delivers as Melanie Fida continues to play well beyond her years. Coming into set 3, Fida had 2 kills. That is her 4th now, 2 here in set 3. Delamonica near side, a chance for Balskis, denied up front by Murphy, and making contact with that was Fida, so the point to number 15, Karen Sabisky, and the visiting Warriors of EastCon. So Ashley Adams re-enters, as does Leah Supneski. Taking a seat is Delamonica and Kay Mullen. Pepper Baker, whoa, looking for Murphy. She made contact right off the hand of the visiting forward. That's Karen Sabisky. And now a chance for Shee to deliver. She does! Eileen Shee with an absolute blast to the backside of the court. It's 11-11 as UMass Boston sophomore sensation shows her skills yet again. So Steinberg returns. The California native will spell Mel Fida. And with the score 11-11, we've got a whole new set number 3. Beacon's trying to wrap things up lock, stock, and barrel with another sweep. They're 8th in their first 11 victories. Murphy saw that one partially deflected by Valier. Balskis tried to get it towards Steinberg, but Carly did a good job keeping it alive. But eventually, UMass Boston runs out of time, and it is 12-11 Warriors of Eastern Connecticut State. So Balski will take a seat, and she'll be replaced by Nina Zamiti. I should say Balskis will take a seat. The Hebron, Connecticut native will catch a breather. Meanwhile, Carly Steinberg digs that one out. Beacon's awkward on that, and that really was doomed from the start. Steinberg got an awkward positioning to dig it out, and then both Pepper Baker and Eileen Shee had no idea what to do from that point. And things have shifted towards the Warriors' favor. It's 13-11. What an effort by Steinberg as she came flying in like Supergirl to attempt to dig that one, but unfortunately all for naught. It's 14-11, and all of a sudden momentum and the pendulum swinging back the other way. 14-11, Steinberg digs it out. Pepper Baker far side for Shee. What a beautiful block as that one comes out of bounds off Glavin. A beautiful block up front on a play made there by Carly Balskis. And a timeout here for Terry Condon and the Beacons. Well, the Beacons got this one from what was a 4-point deficit to an 11-11 tie. They trail now again 15-11. We'll see how this exciting third set ends. That's up next right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. So Zamini will deliver the service out of the Terry Condon timeout. We'll see if the momentum will shift towards the Beacons. It did in set 1, it did in set 2, and now Terry Condon looking to pull every rabbit out of her hat that she has here for set 3 on a beautiful play by Mel Fida. It's now 15-12. Substitution sees Maslach take a seat for Christina Elliott. Elliott will serve. Overhanded service by Elliott. Dug out there low by Zamini. Dangerous play. And Christina, or rather that was Steinberg, unable to get there on a beautiful spike there by Karen Sabisky, who's really picked up her play here in the second half of this one. It's 16-12. There's Eastcon as Sabisky serving. Dug out by Steinberg. Elliott sets it up for Colleen Cohen. And when you need somebody to come through with a big kill, you turn to your best players, and Colleen Cohen is one of them. It's now 16-13. UMass Boston still trailing, but trying to take momentum back into their corner. And one of the key reasons why the Beacons gained momentum in the second set was the young woman serving right now, Eileen Shee. And a beautiful block up front by UMass Boston as getting into the action is the freshman duo of Fida and Doyle. And it's now 16-14 with Eileen Shee back in the service area. Overhand service for Eileen. Kept alive there on a dig attempt by number 7, Ashley Adams. Far side for Ashley again. Good play, and that one went under the net, so Doyle, with a great block, contributes directly to the Beacons' point. It's now 16-15. 3 unanswered for UMass Boston as Terry Condon does it again. Her team trailed by 4. She calls a timeout, and here they are right back in this one. I'm definitely going to ask Coach Houlihan about what she says in those timeouts to get the Beacons so fired up as Cohen delivers, and that's going to be, barring a miracle, by Mahalik, and she got it. What a beautiful shot by Mahalik. No look from the far side of the court. She had to throw that up with a whistle and a prayer, and her prayers were answered. It's 17-15. Adriana Mahalik, well, there's a reason why she leads the team in kills, coming into play by 60. When she touches it, good things seem to happen. Substitution for the Beacons. Michaela Kianco is in. And right off the service by Della Monica as that's out of bounds. An error there on the Warriors, and just like that, it's a one-point game yet again. 17-16, UMass Boston trailing as the service from Glavin. And a beautiful one as Nina Zamiti can't keep it alive. No one home. And the Beacons have clawed their way back. It's now 17-17, tied up yet again. First to 8 here in this set. If it's the Beacons, this match is over, and Glavin then commits the error on that service. It's 18-17. And the best player here for the Warriors, Mahalik, gets an opportunity to step back into the service area. Della Monica, Valier, Mahalik, Mullen out there along with Carly Vasquez, as this one is Elliott trying to tip it over towards Murphy. Murphy got it over, but here it comes towards the far side for Cohen. Oh, and a bad setup there by Elliott. And she even knows it was her fault. She thought she had help on the near side. Instead, her help was on the far side in the form of Cohen. And that's a big one because it's now 19-17, and it gives Mahalik another serve. Adriana towards Glavin. Off the hands of Elizabeth. Another rare error by the Beacons libero as their hopes begin to dwindle a bit. We'll see if Coach Condon's going to call another timeout. Nope, instead she's just going to go with a substitution as Maslach's going to come in for Christina Elliott. So Rachel, who has played a lot today, will have an opportunity to try to stem the tide as that one comes way out of bounds and an error, just what the doctor ordered for UMass Boston, as the Beacons had shot themselves in the foot a couple of times in the recent past in this set. And just like that, the best player for the Warriors commits the same foul. Pepper Baker in now as she will get set to serve. Pepper will try to get the Beacons back even. It's 20-18. Dug out there by Valier. Della Monica will try to set things up for Balskis. Good play by Maslak, and an even better play by both Baker and Murphy. Two seniors, two veterans who know how to win matches and win them a lot for Coach Houlihan, Coach Condon and company. And they're going to try to will the Beacons back to win this one in set 3. It's 20-19, the kill by Murphy on a beautiful set by Pepper Baker. Delamonica for Balskis. That one out of bounds off the mitts of Balskis, and we are tied again. It's 20-20. And just like that, timeout, Eastern Connecticut State, as Coach Silverdresch doesn't like what she sees here in set number 3. The Beacons have clawed their way back. It's 20-20. The first to 5 will win this set. If it's UMass Boston, they win another match. We'll find out next, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden, yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting booth. I am John Skudris here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. It's 20-20. UMass Boston and Eastern Connecticut State here in set 3. It's been a pendulum swinging back and forth, the merry-go-round. Where will it end? We'll see if Pepper Baker can tilt it towards UMass Boston. It just gets over the netting on her serve, but it's going to set up an opportunity for Mullen, and instead it's dug out smartly by Baker. Murphy up front, blocks it back, and UMass Boston gets the point. Who else but Julia Murphy as the Beacons take a 21-20 lead. So Pepper Baker comes in when it's 20-18, and she has directly contributed to some fantastic serves and some points. It's 21-20. Beacons. Far side opportunity for Mullen, tries to drop it over, but Fida's able to get possession and tip that one towards Pepper Baker. Delamonica digs that out. Valier for Mullen, spike attempt, got it. Glavin struggling a bit defensively here in the third set, at least by her own standards. And now we're tied again, 21-all. Here's Michelle Valier. Native of Lebanon will send that one to the far side. Kianko kept it alive. Maslak tips this one over with a fist. Near side, a chance. Balskis deflected. Kianko keeps it alive, and Pepper will just decide to put it over. Bit of a collision there between Mullen and Delamonica. Ooh, and almost one between Maslak and Glavin. And the confusion on the Beacon side puts the visiting Warriors up 23-21. Excuse me, 22-21. I jumped the gun there. So Eileen Shee desperately needed back in this affair late in this set as she replaces Kianko. 22-21, Valier. Service dug out. Pepper Baker for Murphy. Deflected, and they're going to say Murphy made contact with the netting and went over. And it's 23-21. And just like that, Eileen Shee will take a seat, and Michaela Kianko back in this match. Here's Valier serving towards Kianko. Instead, Maslak deflects this one towards Baker. Back towards Rachel, and it's out of bounds. Maslak couldn't keep it in, and now set point here for the visitors from Eastern Connecticut State. What a set match it's been. Really, what a set it's been. Back and forth. The Beacons battled back, but now they are down to their final point here in the set. 24-21, and oof. That was not a good start to an opportunity to end this one. It's a really weak service attempt there from Valier. Gives the ball right back to UMass Boston. So now here's the freshman Fida, 24-22. Dug out there by Balskis. Delamonica near side for Balskis. Out of bounds. Was it deflected? It was. And this set is over as UMass Boston falls 25-22. And it is now 2-1. The Beacons leading the Warriors. We will have a fourth set of volleyball. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we will have highlights of the third set as well as a look ahead at what lies beneath the schedule here in 2016 for the UMass Boston Beacons. That's up next, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Beacons were hoping to wrap up their 8th sweep of the season in what would have been their 11th win. They will now have to take this to a 4th set, but they do lead it 2-1. Let's take a look at the highlights of set number 3, triumphed by the visiting Warriors. And why not put Eileen Shee out there? Eileen, of course, got the run going after the Beacons fell. Beacons trailed by 3 early last set, and Elizabeth Glavin got really handcuffed with that one. I'm not out. Glavin digs this one out, and an opportunity for Elliott to set up Fida, and Mel Fida delivers with an over, trying to keep the Beacons moving as they trail 7-5. Elliott digs it out. Cohen thought about taking that one. Instead, it's Mel Fida. Finds Elliott. Now Eileen's going to have to get it over just off the forearm as it's kept alive there by Della Monica. And a spike attempt there from number 1 Carly Balskis is denied by Shee. And a beautiful Pepper Baker back there to serve yet again. And Pepper always has that jump to his Valier as this one's dug out there by Glavin. Sets up Fida for the left kills. That is her 4th now. 2 here in set 3. Della Monica near side. A chance for Balskis. Denied up front by Murphy. And making contact as Sabisky serving. Dug out by Steinberg. Elliott sets it up for Colleen Cohen. And Boston trailing as the service from Glavin. And a beautiful one. 20-18. Dug out there by Valier. Della Monica will try to set things up for Balskis. Good play by Maslak, and an even better. It's over the netting on her serve, but it's going to set up an opportunity for Mullen, and instead it's dug out smartly by Baker. Murphy up front, blocks it back, and UMass Boston gets towards Kianko. Instead, Maslak. Let's take a look ahead at what lies ahead for the Beacons here on the 2016 slate. You see they take on Plymouth State on Tuesday at Plymouth, another LEC matchup before they head to Wellesley to take on Wellesley College on the 30th. And then next weekend, the 1st of October, it'll be a doubleheader matchup against Babson College and Middlebury College right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. So the Beacons will try to get their 11th victory in 12 matches this year as Glavin will come on in for Murphy to begin things here in set 4. Elliott, Shee, Glavin, Fida, Doyle, and Cohen for UMass Boston. Meanwhile, for the visitors, it is Zamiti as well as Leah Subneski, Valier, Adriana Mahalik, and Carly Sabisky and Kate Mullen. And just like that, a good start yet again. It's the 3rd consecutive set that the Warriors have gotten the first point as Nina Zamiti will be back towards the service area. It's already 1-0 Eastern Connecticut State. A beautiful effort there, but too much on it there for Doyle as she sees the Beacons fall behind 2-0. UMass Boston led so far in kills by Colleen Cohen. She has 7. Led in assists by Christina Elliott with 10. Eileen Shee had 6 consecutive service aces in set number 2. She leads the team with that. It's now 3-0. As slamming that one down was Mahalik. And the Beacons, all of a sudden, seeing the quicksand begin to envelop their knees. They led this one 2-0 and had a chance to complete a sweep. They let the Warriors get right back in, and for the 3rd straight set, they're behind 3-0. But finally, UMass Boston gets on the board as Colleen Cohen delivers with a spike from the near side. And she gets the Beacons on. It's her 8th kill of the day to lead both teams. Eileen Shee leads the team in aces. Meanwhile, there's Carly Sabisky having an opportunity denied by Shee, and then Eileen sends this one out of bounds. It's 4-1. Beacons now getting a little over anxious, I think. Trying to press maybe a little too much, resulting in a lot of missed shots. Now here's Karen Savitsky. And a good dig there by Fida. Chance for setting up Doyle. Fida kept it alive. Glavin for Elliott. It's got to be she, and Eileen delivers for UMass Boston. That's kill number 5 for Eileen on the afternoon, and it's 4-2 as Doyle will take a C. Opportunity now for Mullen. Mullen denied by Cohen. Far side Fida. Good spike dug out by Zamiti. And Sopneski is going to get called. The Beacons will get the point. And UMass Boston has cut this deficit down to 1. It's 4-3. A lot of volleyball left to be played on the campaign as Beacons gotten off to a very fine start. Blocked by UMass Boston, but out of bounds as Murphy made a great attempt. Unfortunately, luck of the draw on that one. It's 5-3. Substitution here as Della Monica is in for Adams. Sopneski will take a seat for Kay Mullen. So Mullen out there with McComber, Adriana Mahalik, Valier, and Zappini. Near side from Elliott, there's Cohen, dug out there by Valier. Della Monica looking to set up her near side teammate Mullen. Glavin with a good effort. She will keep it alive, and just like that, the Beacons continuing to struggle. You let a team back into it, and before you realize it, you're wading knee-deep in trouble. There's a chance for Murphy and sent right back at her by Mahalik, who raises her hands towards the heavens and celebrates with her squad. It's 7-3 Warriors here in set 4 as the comeback continues here from Clark Athletic Center. Della Monica's service dug out by Fida. Near side for Cohen. Instead of trying to slam that one home, she uses a deceptive, softer route. Instead, it's sent back towards Murphy, and a good play by Julia. As unable to keep that alive was Zamiti. And the Beacons are back on the board. Couple of substitutions as Maslak and Pepper Baker will step back in. Cohen and Elliott will get a chance to take a seat. So Baker into the service area. It's 7-4. Warriors out in front here in set 4 with the Beacons leading 2-1. After Valier's dig, Della Monica finds Mahalik and a beautiful spike off the set from Della Monica as all of a sudden Adriana Mahalik is as hot as the California sun. It's 8-4. UMass Boston trails in set number 4. Taking a seat is Nina Zamiti. As digging out that Mahalik service was Fida as it comes out of bounds off of Murphy. It's 9-4. UMass Boston tumbling down like a tree in the forest here in this 4th set. And finally, Terry Condon has seen enough as she will call timeout with the Beacons trailing by 5. So UMass Boston led this one 2-0. They lost set 3 in a close affair, and they have not looked the same here in set 4. We'll see if they can rebound out of the timeout when we come back. It's 9-4 Warriors right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Coach Houlihan and Coach Condon watching that young lady, Adriana Mahalik, deliver with the best of them here in set 4. 163 kills coming into play, and she has been everything you could have hoped for here in the latter portions of this one if you're a Warriors fan. Meanwhile, Glavin with a great play. That's a double touch, no? No call. It looked to me like a double touch at the net. Regardless, they're going to give it to the Warriors. And home cooking isn't sweet here at Beaconville as it's now 10-4. The visitors in front. So Mahalik getting set to serve again. Beacons slip sliding away here in set 4, and there finally, mercifully, is Julia Murphy to slam that one home and cut the deficit to 10-5. Michaela Kianko will come on in to serve as she will replace Mel Fida. Kianko, Baker, Maslak, Murphy, Glavin, and she. There's an opportunity, beautiful play, a deceptive spike there by Balskis, but a better play by She to dig it out. Now here to the near side is McComber, able to find Delamonica, but McComber's attempt sails far wide, and it's out of bounds. It's 10-6. So the Beacons, while they started out so poorly here in set 4, now just down 4. As Kianko's service dug out by Valier, far side setting things up for Balskis, and a beautiful block, and the Beacons get the point. As Maslak and Murphy, the trees in front of the net. And now 10-7, the UMass Boston Beacons suddenly right back in the thick of things. So here's Michaela again, dug out there on the far side by Balskis. Delamonica for Mullen, beautiful play by Kay Mullen. As she halts the Beacons' momentum with a deceptive tap over the rise of Maslak. And it's now 11-7, and service for Michelle Valier. 11-7, Beacons trailing, and a beautiful serve by Valier. Deflects off the top of the net and falls in for an ace. It's 12-7. As the Warriors continue to persevere here through the second half of this match. They fell behind 2-0. Lost set 1 25-17, got absolutely demolished in set 2 25-10. And since then, they've put on a show. Winning set 3 and leading set 4 now 12-8 as the Beacons get the point there, and Murphy will head on back towards the service area. Murphy out there with Kianko and Pepper Baker as that one is served towards the Warriors and kept alive, but unfortunately for Eastern Connecticut, not long enough. As a great play up front, I believe that was made by Fida. And UMass Boston leads, that's Doyle, as UMass Boston trails 12-9, and ooh, Julia Murphy's going to want that one back. Didn't look like she got anything on that one, and she'll take a seat for it. It's 13-9. So Glavin back out there. It was Doyle up front with Baker and Maslak. Doyle just a freshman. Despite standing tall at 6'0", according to this. Rather 6'2", according to the press release, as this one is in for UMass Boston. So the Beacons now down just 3, and they'll get their best offensive player back onto the court, Colleen Cohen. Taking a seat will be Pepper Baker as Rachel Maslak will head towards the service area. Beacons leading 2-1 in sets, 13-10 in this fourth set. Meanwhile, here's a chance for the Warriors, kept alive by Balskis towards Carly Sibieski, but unfortunately for the Beacons, unable to get down and dig that one was Michaela Kianko, and Sibieski gets a kill. It's her 7th of the game, and UMass trails 14-10. Nina Zamini back in the service area. She sends it towards Kianko. Dug out towards Maslak, and Cohen slams it in, partially deflected on a play made by Adams. Ashley now with another opportunity. Kianko digs it out. Maslak for She, deflected. A great effort made to keep it alive there by Leah Sopneski as this volley continues here in set 4. There's a chance for Cohen. It's sent right back at her. And a beautiful effort made there by the visitors from Eastern Connecticut State. They gave it their all, and with it, get the point and extend their lead yet again to 5. It's 15-10. Service here from Zamiti, dug out by Glavin. Chance for Cohen to pick it back up where she left off, and there is Colleen slamming it down. And it's 15-11, substitution on the court for both squads. We can see Kianko taking a seat for Melfida. And the best player in blue, Adriana Mahalik, back on the court for the Warriors. Glavin with a diving dig there. Meanwhile, Maslak just tips it over. An opportunity for Supneski to find Ashley Adams. Fida digs it out and keeps it alive. Setting up Cohen was Maslak, but that one's kept out of harm's way by Zamiti, and then a chance to drop it in as she does. Adriana Mahalik, there's a reason why she leads the team in kills, among the tops in the LEC in that category, and she delivers yet again. It's 16-11 here in set number 4. Carly Steinberg will re-enter the game for UMass Boston, replacing Kiyanko. As Glavin digs it out in front of Steinberg. Fida just tries to spike it home, and she's going to get that one to the far side. I'm not sure how the Warriors keep doing it, keeping those plays alive, but perseverance pays off. Meanwhile, that one dug out there on a good play, setting up Mahalik. Good play by Sabisky, but Mahalik had too much on it, and the Beacons do get the service back. It's 16-12. So Glavin will serve, as she sends this one towards Zamiti. Dug out for Supneski. Near side for Ashley Adams. Keeping it alive is Maslak. Glavin for Cohen. Cohen spikes it right down between the two outside hitters. A beautiful play made by who else? The team's leader in kills today, Colleen Cohen. So Glavin now serving. Dug out by Adams. Supneski far side for Mahalik. And how does she do it? That thing deflected off of a beacon in midair and sent right down towards the court. And a beautiful kill yet again for Mahalik. She came into this set. Did Mahalik with just 6 kills. So surprising, she's already gotten a couple, and that one's going to be a beautiful ace for Zamiti. And it's now 18-13. Beacons led this 2-0, and now down by 5 here in set 4. They're in danger of seeing this one evened up at 2. We're going to go to a break here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Timeout for Terry Condon. It's 18-13 Warriors.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, so. And UMass helped me.
So UMass Boston trying to avoid their second consecutive set, as they would lose this one if it did end here. They trail 18-13. As Della Monica will be serving from left to right. Dug out there by Fida. Maslak looking for Murphy, who delivers in midair. Good twisting slam there for Murphy. And with the Beacons getting service back, why not bring out Pepper Baker and get your best player in the service area back onto the court down by 4. Don't forget, folks, the Beacons may be losing here, but they win this set, in which they're only down 4. They win this match. Dug out on the near side by Mahalik, sent far side for Mullen, and that one is out of bounds. UMass Boston narrowing the deficit. It's 18-15. So Pepper Baker is back in there. Steinberg out there with her as outside hitters. And there's a chance for Mahalik, and what a block by Murphy. Murphy and Maslak denying up front. Granted, they won't get a point for it, but it still was an impressive performance, as Mahalik will head on back to serve yet again. And just like that, for the second consecutive time from the service area, Adriana Mahalik commits an error. So she hands the point right back to the Beacons. It's 19-16. Steinberg takes his seat, and it's time to bring out the weapon that is Eileen Shee. As Fida will serve, and a good one almost dropped right in. The libero Valera had to get down on that. She deferred towards Murphy. Julia just had enough time to regain her composure, and the Beacons were kind of out of whack on that one from the very beginning. and out of position as Michaela Kiyanko will step on in, and she will replace Mel Fida, with the Warriors leading 20-16. A reminder, if we do go to a fifth set, it is up to only 15, as service here from Valier is kept alive. Baker towards Murphy, and a great play by Julia, who seems to be the only one right now that can record kills here in set 4 for the Beacons, as she drops that one down like a teardrop, and now the Beacons trailing just 20-17, need to score 8 before the visitors score 5. Murphy's service, dug out by Mahalik. Della Monica sends this one towards Sibieski. She will send it towards Michaela Kiyanko, who had to get that over. Della Monica for Mullen. Great block up front by Shi. From the far side, a chance, and dropping that one in was Balskis, but dug out by Kiyanko. Eileen Shi unfortunately sends it way out of bounds. And they're going to say that was deflected. Wow, I didn't see it, but then again, like I said earlier, I'm not a referee. That was an impressive blast from Eileen Shi. Apparently, even with the deflection, it had the speed. And now 20-18, the Beacons trail just by 2. Here's Murphy on the service, kept alive after the dig by Mahalik. Mahalik then sends it by way of Della Monica over towards Pepper Baker, and dropping that one in like it's hot is number 16, Sarah Doyle. And the Beacons, from the depths of defeat, have come back here in set 4. They are down 20-19. And a timeout for the Warriors. So the Beacons, the last time we went to break, their hopes looked dim, but they have shined a light towards a potential victory here in set number 4. When we come back, we'll have the exciting conclusion of this one. The Beacons trail 20-19 here in the 4th set against Eastern Connecticut State.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
Out of the timeout, there has not been a bigger moment in this game or in this match yet than right now. Here's Murphy down 20-19. And that's an error on Julia Murphy out of the timeout. Tough break for the Beacons. Murphy will head to the bench, replaced out there by Shi. And now trailing 21-19. UMass Boston will have to defend. Here's Leah Supneski with the service. For the Warriors, up by 2. Supneski dug out there by Kiyanko, setting it up for Shi, delivers, and the Beacons are down 1 yet again as Eileen Shi delivers on the kill, and now they'll get more offensive reinforcements in as Colleen Cohen will step in for Pepper Baker, and Rachel Maslak will be tasked by Coach Houlihan to serve. 21-20, Warriors on top. This is the 4th set. I am John Skudris here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Far side for Adams, a nice block for Doyle, and she delivers as Sarah Doyle. Second chance is true after the block. She slams it in, and the Beacons have evened things up 21-21. The first of 4 will win here in set 4. Valier pops that one up like a mortar shot. Supneski for Balskis, kept alive by the Beacons. Far side for Valier. Pops it up for Adams. Diving for the dig is Kiyanko. By way of Cohen, it's Glavin. Sending it for Mahalik. Supneski, and dropping it in beautifully is Karen Saviski. It's 22-21 Warriors. Carly Balskis will take a seat. Nina Zamini, who got things started here in the 4th set with a couple of beautiful aces from the service area, is back out there. She'll try to end set 4 like she began it. 3 consecutive points for the Warriors, and just like that, she makes me a liar as she sends that one out of bounds. It's 22-all, and Eileen Shi set to serve. So Mel Fida back on as she will replace Michaela Kiyanko. And Eileen Shi is out there. 22-22. Beacons trying to wrap things up here in the 4th set, and there's a beautiful ace for the San Francisco, California native Eileen Shi. It's 23-22. UMass Boston on top here in the 4th set for the first time in this set. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion. Can the Beacons wrap it up? You'll find out. That's up next, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
We take a look at the Little East Conference scoreboard. You see there in the third sets of their respective matches, Southern Maine and Keene State leading their LEC rivals. Meanwhile, Plymouth State leading Westcon 3-2, rather beating Westcon 3-2, I should say, the final. So Plymouth State now 2-0 in the conference with wins over both Western and Eastern. Meanwhile, the Beacons tumbling towards the far sideline. No whistle. They kept it alive. What a play. Ashley Adams dug out there by Eileen Shee. Maslak near side for Cohen, and she gets it done. Colleen Cohen, with the power of 10,000 men, slams it home and puts the Beacons 1 point away from wrapping this one up for their 11th victory in their first 12 games of 2016. Colleen Cohen, how is your talent? Because I think it dwarfs anybody else on this court right now, as Mahalik will try to prove that otherwise. Instead, Cohen will end it for UMass Boston. Colleen Cohen, somebody get her an ice pack, because she is on fire. And the UMass Boston Beacons are on fire. They are now 11-1, coming back from a huge deficit here in the fourth set to win things by the final score of 3-1. I'm going to catch my breath. I'm going to talk to Coach Houlihan. We'll be back on the post-game show. The Beacons improve to 11-1, 2-0 in the Little East Conference as they defeat the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors 3-1, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
What do we mean when we say UMass is here for a reason? We mean that the 5-campus UMass system is the only public research university that the people of Massachusetts established to create better futures for themselves, but also for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as a whole. It's a university that educates 73,000 students every day and graduates 17,000 graduates every year. We are the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We're one of the state's 3 major academic research engines: research that saves and improves people's lives, and research that drives the innovation economy of Massachusetts. We provide services and economic opportunity to every region of the Commonwealth. The noted historian David McCullough once said that 2 great concepts, university and Massachusetts, come together in only one place, and we are very aware of how fortunate we are to bear the name, the University of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I am John Skudris, along with assistant coach Mike Houlihan. And coach, got a little bit nerve-wracking there at the end. A very game Eastern Connecticut State team. Adriana Mahalik really gave her all in that fourth set. What was going through your mind as the Beacons tried to come back and eventually did come back to get the victory?
I mean, we were just talking about it. They took their foot off the gas. I mean, we had a great second, and going into the third, we took the foot off the gas, and we just really needed to get back to that level. We got ourselves in a hole, and we had to dig ourselves out, and we just told them 1 point at a time, and let's see what happens here.
And you certainly did a great job willing your girls back into it. Now, in the first and second sets, they were close to a point, and then really put pedal to the metal and got things done. It seemed that at the end of the sets, when you guys were on match point, or rather on set point, you had an opportunity. You brought in Christina Elliott to serve. Is that something you guys were to do because of her talent in the service area?
No, it's just kind of going in the rotation. I mean, it's rare we were in that rotation. We don't mind who's up for serving. We have a good serving team, and when they're on, they're on. And we took our foot off the gas in serving, and that's really what got us in that hole. And Tina did a good job there, putting it where she needed to be.
Eileen Shee did as well to begin that second set. Got off a really crazy run of 5 or 6 consecutive aces to lead your club. Now, in both of those first 2 sets, when things were really starting to look bad for you guys, you and called timeout. And right out of that timeout, you guys really picked it up. What were you guys telling your girls out there that got them to will a victory today?
I think we were just trying to get them to relax a little bit, and all we needed to do was make sure that we were playing our game and not trying to play up just because we're in conference. And they really relaxed. They took a deep breath, and I think they just played our game.
Absolutely. Plymouth State up next on Tuesday. The Panthers got a victory today. They're 2-0 in the conference, as are you guys. What should the fans expect when the Panthers and the Beacons go head-to-head in Plymouth?
I think it's just going to be another grunge match. I mean, Plymouth State's a pretty good team, and I think it's something that we're going to start looking at as we go through the weekend. But I think we just got to play our game, and I think it will be a good one.
We think so as well, and we know you do as well on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Coach Houlihan, I appreciate it. Go celebrate with your girls. I am John Skudras. That's Coach Mike Houlihan. The Beacons are now 11-1 overall. They have won 8 consecutive games, and they don't show any signs of slowing down. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the post-game show, a look at the statistics, as well as a look ahead and around Beaconville right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Being on the track and field team here is the greatest decisions I've made besides coming to UMass Boston. When you train together in that sort of intensity, you build a sort of a bond with people who are training with you. You know, it's like a higher level of friendship. It's like teammates, it's just a different level. My freshman year, I got a Rookie Athlete of the Year. Outdoor for my sophomore year, I was the first time I went to nationals. When I jump, it's a little difficult considering I have hereditary disorder known as amblyopia.
There we go.
It's pretty much just a partial blindness in the left eye. The best way to describe it is if you have decent prescriptions for contact lenses, you take one of the lenses out, and then you put your hand over the eye with that lens. That's my vision. I rely more on my steps as opposed to my visual perception of how far away the bar is. And since I can't see out of my left eye, I have to sit on the far left-hand side of the class. Hopefully coach for a few years, and coach some high school kids, maybe even coach on a college level as like an assistant coach, and go to PA school, and then do a 5-year program and try to get my loans paid back.
So UMass Boston getting a critical victory today to improve to 11-1. It certainly wasn't easy. The Beacons made it look pretty simple early on, getting up 2-0 by virtue of an explosive performance from Eileen Shee in the second set. After the Beacons won 25-17 in set 1, Eileen contributed to 6 consecutive service aces for UMass Boston, part of a 7-ace performance by the sophomore out of San Francisco. And UMass Boston, with that, rode it to a 2-0 series lead, and they almost gave it back, but eventually did win with an impressive closeout performance in the 4th set. We take a look at the final statistics. The Beacons, of course, improving to 2-0 in the LEC, thanks in large part to their ability in, well, when it comes to efficiency. Look at the hitting percentages, folks. .273 for UMass Boston. to 0-70 for the Warriors of Eastern Connecticut State. That almost makes you wonder how it was so close, 3-1. But the Beacons got it done in every facet of the game today. And as we take a look at the individual leaders, we get an opportunity to show you just who contributed for the Beacons. And as you see there, it is really a team effort. Eventually, Murphy, I believe, tied in kills for the lead with Cohen, but she's on there on the screen. Colleen Cohen also had a huge day offensively. Sarah Doyle was really integral when it comes to the Beacons keeping volleys alive with her ability to keep the play alive with that hitting percentage so high. And Pepper Baker, 13 assists, despite the fact that she did not play at all in the first or second sets. Impressive stuff for Pepper and the rest of the Beacons. And, of course, you see Eileen Shee with those 6 aces, most of which coming on that second set. The Beacons will be off until Tuesday when they will take on a very capable foe in the Plymouth State Panthers. We talked about that with Coach Houlihan after the game. Plymouth State now 2-0 in the LEC. They beat Eastern and Western, so both of these teams have taken the Nutmeg State by storm. We'll see which side of the pendulum will swing when these two face off in Plymouth on Tuesday. You also see the Beacons playing Wellesley and Babson and Middlebury over the next week as they continue this 2016 campaign looking for yet another Little East Conference championship under Coach Terry Condon. We take a look at our production team. Always want to thank them. Couldn't do it without them. Seth Orensky is our producer and our director. Steve the Shark Consiglio also directing today. Rachel Mayette is on replay. Our camera crew, Chris Fowler, Josh Lopez, Taylor Paulina, and Alyssa DePippo, and I, of course, am John Skudras. For everyone that I just mentioned and everyone else involved in the production of the Beacons Broadcasting Network, I thank you. The Beacons winning this one by the final of 3-1. They improved to 11-1 overall here on the 2016 campaign. Until next time, I'm John Skudras. Good night, good luck, and good volleyball. We'll see you right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.